This is Kyle Kenyon with Boat and Motor Superstores. We are doing the Yamaha 200 horsepower outboard shootout. We have two motors. They're both from Yamaha. They're both 200 horsepowers. One is a 200 SHO. One is a 200 2.8 liter. Which one of these boats is going to perform better? They're on identical boats. We have the same fuel in each boat, roughly 20 gallons. So this is a true test. Which one would you buy?
Hey guys doing? I'm Jared. We're going to have 4 tests in this Yamaha 200 shootout. The first test is going to be hole shot. As a fisherman in shallow water, you're only going to have a short amount of time to get up on plane. Which motor is going to do that best? We're going to have a full-on race, 600-yard race between the two of them. Also, we're going to have a draft. So one motor is a little bit heavier than the other. Does that affect the draft of the boat? And the last test is going to be overall handling and comfort of the boat. Not everything is all about speed and performance. Sometimes it's all about handling characteristics. This 200 Yamaha is going to be digital throttle and shift and electric steering, where the 200 SHO is going to be hydraulic steering and cable throttle and shift. And between us two driving these boats, we're going to have 2 separate opinions on what we like the best.
All right, so that was our first test. That was our hole shot test. This SHO is an absolute beast. I mean, it ripped out of the hole. We did a couple different takes, tried a few things. It was hard to get the boats perfectly lined up, but man, I would say, what would you say, Jared?
I'd say it was unanimous. I mean,
yeah.
the SHO definitely had more torque. I like to think, you know, we hit the throttles at the same time and we're right as close as we possibly could be. And every single time, even when I felt like I got a little bit of the jump, the SHO was still a better hole shot.
Yeah, this 200 SHO, it really was a beast. Now I will say though, with this regular hydraulic steering, when you're really in the throttle like that, there was no steering this. It was like steering an old cable steering system. It was extremely hard. So I don't know what you experienced on that electric steering.
No matter what speed, docking or full throttle, with the electric steering, it feels the same. It's as smooth as butter and very like a luxurious feel on the water.
Gotcha. All right, so now we're gonna go do the speed test and see which one will run the fastest. Stay tuned. All right, so recap on the wide open test. This best speed I got out of this in a couple passes was 53.5 miles an hour. And that the other 200 Yamaha, it just kept gaining on me and gaining on me and then eventually passed me. So yeah, what did you see, Jared?
To our surprise, the 4-cylinder, it took a little bit,
yeah,
but eventually started catching up. And I got up to 54.7 miles an hour with the inline 4.
Yeah, it's over a mile an hour faster.
I mean, a mile an hour faster, yeah. Electric steering, digital throttle and shift.
That really shocked me. I did not think that the 2.8 liter Yamaha would have actually outrun this 200 SHO. It kind of felt like this 200 SHO, it was like it just hit a wall. And the 2.8 liter just kept climbing.
Just kept on going.
All right, so I've been driving this boat for about an hour. So Jared's been driving that one for about an hour. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch boats and then both drive them around in different conditions, do the hole shot, do the speed test again, and we're gonna see how do we like the shifting and the steering between the two different setups. That, you've got the total electric shift, electric steering. This, I have mechanical shift and I have your traditional hydraulic steering system. So we're gonna share our opinions on that next.
after switching boats, as far as maneuverability goes and how the boats handle, these are fresh opinions, us just now coming back. The electric steering is much more luxurious feeling. There's a lot more feedback whenever you're hitting full throttle or initially taking off. But I tell you what, the whole shot is violent with this V6. It is a big difference and a lot more mid-range torque and low-end whole shot. What did you think, Kyle?
I mean, yeah, as far as these two, it's like a sumo wrestler versus a ninja. That thing has all the power out of the hole. It's a beast. This thing, it's so light, so smooth. The handling is amazing, and it does end up going a little faster wide open, but it doesn't make as much power right off the gate. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. I think it's more like your application, like what are you doing, what's your use is going to be for the boat. I mean, I think if I'm a tournament guy and I got to get out of the hole, I think I'm going to go with that SHO. I think if I want to enjoy the islands and hang out and still fish a bunch, I don't think I would want to pass up this electric steering and electric shift. It's just such a nice feature.
I think that's exactly what I was gonna say, was if we're tournament fishing and I gotta get out of the hole in shallower water, maybe this V6 will do it a little better. The whole shot is still great on that 200.
It's still great, yeah.
It's still great. It runs great. Again, a little faster, but that luxury feeling in the boat, I think in my opinion, I would lean more towards that way. But again, the whole shot is just violent.
Yeah, it really just depends on the use. Like there's not a better or worser engine. It's just your use. What are you using the boat for? What do you plan on using it for? What is your personality like? And I think that's the one you pick.
All in all, I don't think there's a wrong choice in my personal opinion. We're on our way back to the dock. We're gonna test out the draft next.
All right, so here we go. Our last test is our draft test. We got the same gas in both boats. That motor is 567 according to Yamaha. This motor is 525 according to Yamaha. We did not weigh each one of these engines. That's just what they published. So we have a ramp here. We're slowly backing them up till they touch the bottom, and then we're gonna measure the draft on each one and see if that 42 pounds makes a difference on these bay boats.
So after putting the boats in the same spot, in the same way, with nobody in them and the same amount of gas and gear inside the boat, it seemed to be that the little bit heavier the motor is going to draft about 1/4 of an inch more. So a very, very minimal difference. I think no matter where you're fishing, each boat's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I think it was pretty negligible, like
The difference.
1/4 inch. Either way, it was even hard for us to measure to see if there was a difference.
Yeah.
You know, and that's on a 12-inch setback jack plate too. So might be less if it was right to the transom, on a different boat.
Yep.
So, all right, so Jared, which one would you buy?
Me personally, I like the steering better on this one. I think the trade-offs wasn't enough for me.
Yeah.
I like the luxury feeling in my motor, which is this 200 electric steering. What do you think?
I like to rip out of the hole. I like to fish shallow water, and you got to get going fast. So I think I would take the SHO and deal with a little bit of the tougher steering.
Yeah, 100%. But at the end of the day, I think either one's the right choice. Just depends on how you're going to be using your boat. And if you got any other questions, you can give us a call at 727-942-7767.
Thanks.